you to those guys. Let's bring in our next guest of the night. This man is been at the races quite a bit with Twisted Tea, who are new to the sport. It's a big sponsor of the HEP Suzuki team. They're doing activation at the Nationals as well, and it's really, really cool to meet him and have him on the show. It's Billy Grotto. What's up, Billy? How are you, man?
Hey, Steve. What's happening? Hey, Chuck. What's going on?
Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. I know it's a little bit late where you are, and it was late notice, so I even more appreciate it, Billy.
That's all right. I'm late for everything I do, so no problems here. I'm in Sioux Falls, Iowa, on my way to Sturgis.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Okay, Sturgis. Here we go.
Yeah.
So what's your title at Twisted Tea?
You know, it's events manager, but
Okay.
that's because when I started doing this, I mean, I've been with the brewery for almost 23 years, and I've been in this role handling the V-Twin activations for like the last 12 years,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't like a good title, and we didn't know what to call me, so it was just a special events manager. But now everybody it's like, oh, it's Billy.
Yeah.
You know,
Billy from
it's like,
Twisted,
it's great.
right?
Yeah.
So how'd you get hooked up with the HEP guys? Talk us through that a little bit, and finding Supercross and being involved with them. How did it come together?
You know, it's a great story. It happened organically. I mean, really, just I think the best things in life happen are the ones that aren't planned. I think, you know, that's that happenstance. So I was at Daytona Bike Week, and Dustin Pipes, who's a beautiful guy, he approached me and he said, hey, you know, what do you guys think about, you know, Supercross? And, you know, I'll be the first one to tell you, I mean, I didn't know an awful lot about the sport. I was like a passive fan. I thought it was really cool. I thought the guys, you know, that rode were complete maniacs and like the ultimate stuntmen. And it was intriguing, but it wasn't something that I was like fully immersed in. So I didn't know a lot about it. And Dustin was like, you know, look, you know, give us a shot.
Yeah.
So we sent them some swag, and we sent them some logos, and they put them on the plastics. And, you know, we had it wasn't even, you know, to his credit, you know, he was putting Twisted Tea, you know, on the jerseys and on the bikes, and we didn't even have any kind of agreement. And, you know, that went a long way for me, because in the corporate world you live in today, like, could you imagine like somebody doing that? And then we saw what he was doing, and it was really impressive. And when we looked at the crowd, I mean, people ask me all the time, why motocross? And it's like the people, you know, I mean, look at the fans. Like, I mean, these are passionate people, and it's just the perfect spot for us.
That's good to hear. You're absolutely right. It is a good demo for Twisted Tea. There's no doubt about it. And that's cool that Pipes did that. And now it seems like, so you did the team, you did some activation this weekend. It was the Twisted Tea Southwick National. You're getting a little bit more involved here. You're expanding the presence.
Yeah, big time. I mean, so we did the team, right? And that was our first foray. And then we were going to do something with Supercross, but things were moving real fast. And with COVID and the uncertainty of like what fans were going to be allowed to get into the arenas and stuff, we couldn't pull it off with Feld. And I know those guys, they were awesome, and we really tried to put it together, and we couldn't. So luckily, some time had elapsed, and, you know, the COVID situation kind of stabilized, and events are coming back online. And that's when we said, let's do what we call a test and learn with motocross. And that's how we got involved in the series. So we were the title sponsor for Southwick and for Redbud, and then we're presenting for High Point and Unadilla.
Wow.
And yeah, and I mean, like, I'm all in. Like, it didn't take long for me to be convinced. It was like, wow, man, like, look at these people. And it's outdoors, because Twisted Tea, you know, it's an outdoor day drinking brand.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you found Twisted Tea in a nightclub or like in a steakhouse, it would be because the distributor sent the wrong product there. You know, like, it's like, that's not where, you know, we're not native to those spaces. We're native to the lake, the beach, the track, the woods.
Right.
That's where we're great. And this is like a perfect platform for us.
And have you seen like I mean, it's so hard to correlate exposure to sales and all of that, but have you seen a positive growth here in our segment and reaction from fans that are stoked? Like, again, it's a perfect demo, but have you seen this?
Oh my God,
yeah,
totally. And you know, you're right, Steve. It's not an exact science,
right?
Which is why I love selling beer, because you know you can't like put a finger on if it's bad or if it's good. So if it's good, I'll take the credit, and if it's bad, I'll say, well, you know, there's the distributor, and it was the weather, you know, the weather, you know.
Right.
So, but the reactions from, you know, just anecdotally, the reactions from the fans at the races is beyond compare. And then, of course, how we all judge things these days is like social media.
Right.
So you look at the views, and then if you take the time to look at the comments, it's like, wow, you know, people are really super stoked that we're there, and like we couldn't be happier to be there.
And so your bosses are seeing all this, right? You're reporting on it, and they're happy. Everybody's at the higher up level is like happy with our sport.
Oh God, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and like, but again, with everything going a million miles an hour, and with all the different initiatives everybody's got going on, because we're into, you know, college football tailgating's coming online. That's a real big platform for us, and country music festivals, which are happening now across the country. And then also like gaming and esports. I never realized how big that was. Man, I made fun of kids that are like sitting home playing video games. Now there's like millions and millions of them. And like, so like those are the things that we're doing. But, you know, my boss is awesome. She's amazing. And, you know, I always get in front of her and I let her know what's going on. And she's super excited about this because, you know, for us, I think that, you know, motocross, supercross is like the next thing for us.
So when you see, a little while ago, there was an incident that went everywhere viral with the convenience store, with the two guys in the convenience store. Chuck, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Wait, so, what are you talking about? I don't know. What do you?
Okay, when something like that, but when something like that happens, Billy, like, this is a great question. I feel like what's the reaction? And we all saw it, right? And like, what's the reaction from a corporate point? Is that good or bad? Or are you horrified? Or are you sort of semi-happy because it does get the name out? Like, I don't know where I would be if I was a high up at Twisted Tea over this.
I'm glad you brought it up because, I mean, it was really, really weird for us because on the one hand, it was like, wow, that guy really deserves to get slapped upside the head with a Twisted Tea can.
Right.
But on the other hand, we couldn't advocate violence.
Yes,
I mean, you know, nobody can, right? So we really didn't know what to do. And, you know, I was told a long time ago, when you don't know what to say, don't say nothing. So we really kept it real quiet. And I think that was the right thing to do, because no matter what you say these days, you know, you're going to piss off 50% of the people. But I won't lie to you. It was an enormous viral video that got, you know, a lot of impressions. I mean, the memes were like, I still get memes, and like it's the gift that keeps on giving. And I know it probably should be called a gift, the legal.
I know what you mean, right? Yeah.
You know, but it's like still people come up to me. Like, I'll be at an event, and it doesn't matter if it's a V-twin event or if it's motocross, and they'll come up to me and they'll be like, "Smack me, bro! Smack me, bro!" I'm like,
well, I mean, Charles here, he's a marketing guy at 100% goggles and sunglasses. Like, Charles, like, you know, like, you've been in that position probably with 100% where you're just like, what do we do? Like, you know, like.
And I think you made a good point there that you're not going to win either way.
Yeah.
So more often than not, I would yield on the same side as like, just stay quiet, because you were generous, I think, saying either way you go, you're going to make 50% of the people mad. I think in reality, either way you go, somehow you're going to make 70% of the people mad. Okay, like the math doesn't work out, but that's just how it's going to be.
Right.
So just keep quiet.
No, it was certainly something to behold. And also, Billy, you have the ultimate hype man over there, the 7 Deuce Deuce, just a terrific sponsorship of the Adamantic Nap over there at the HEP team to hype up Twisted Tea. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the man. You know what kind of sucks is that I only got to meet him a time or two during Supercross because he's kind of been, you know,
he got hurt.
Convalescent and feeling good, you know, trying to get feeling better. But yeah, he's awesome. And, you know, Brandon and Max, they're just such great guys. That's why everybody asks me, you know, why HEP? And it's because they're great guys. I mean, they would do anything for you. And, you know, those are the kind of partners that we want. And they're just really great guys from the top to bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the Suzuki's yellow, Twisted Tea, that all works. It looks a good look.
I know.
Bikes look good, yeah.
Dude.
Remember what I'm saying about like the happenstance and like the serendipity of things? Like, can you imagine if it was like another team, it'd be like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just cursed on the air.
We drop F-bombs all the time on the show. Don't worry about it.
All right, good. But it's perfect. Yes, the yellow is perfect.
Yeah, and the Suzuki teams are slim pickings these days. So
yeah, right, exactly. So you got one choice. Do you ride, Billy, at all? Did you ride moto? Did you ever get on one?
I ride motorcycles. I don't ride dirt bike. I'm a little old. I'm a little old for that. You know, I used to ride when I was a kid, and then, you know, I got into rock and roll and girls and sold a dirt bike, and you know, that was the end of that. But you know, but I do ride. You know, I got a couple Harleys, and because I handle, like, my role for the brewery is I handle all the V-twin motorcycle rallies. So, like, my season starts in Daytona in March for Bike Week, and then it goes all the way through, you know, Myrtle Beach Bike Week, Ohio Bike Week, you know, Sturgis, the biggest of them all, and then it ends in the fall, Ocean City Bike Week and Lone Star and Galveston. So that's, you know, kind of what I've been doing for the last 12 years for the brewery. So, you know, we own a bunch of Harleys. They're all branded Twisted Tea. I'll have to send you some pictures.
Text me one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but that's so it's cool. So it's great to ride. I mean, it's I'm on the street. I'm too old for the dirt, I think.
Right. Now, you know what's going to be cool is are you back with them next year, Hep? Do we know for sure? But we hope so. But
definitely. I mean, just, you know,
what's going to be
sure.
Right. What's going to be great is you're going to come to the races when there's real fans and jam-packed stadiums. I'm looking forward to that. You know what I mean? You'll be stoked. So,
well, let me tell you something, man. Redbud and Southwick, I was just blown away.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
it was like, and they're just like maniacs. I love every single one of them, especially when they come. When, you know, and it was really affirming to us and me when fans of all ages and genders would come up and say, "We're so glad a non-endemic sponsor is involved in the sport. Thank you for being here." And I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could like record every single one of you saying that, you know, because like that, because you asked me like, how do you equate success? And if I equated success by how much beer I sold at an event, we wouldn't be doing this long.
Yeah.
I mean, we sell a bunch of tea, and that's awesome. But I equate success by that.
Yeah.
You know, by somebody coming up and saying, "Thank God you're here."
Yeah. Well, you know, we've got some partners on our show too, like the Intense Bicycle guys. They're just like, man, we just hear about you talking about Intense, and we hear from that's how they measure it, right? That's what it is. It's like the branding, the influential people that are getting the word out, right? That's how you do it. And in today's day and age, it is marketing for social media and for impressions and all that kind of stuff. So it's hard to put a dollar on anything.
See, and that's why I love selling beer, because, you know, if it goes good, I take credit, and if it goes bad, I blame social media. Right. I say, hey, you know, the whatever.
Who's the owner of Twisted Tea? Like, what brewery is it? What is it?
So our parent company is the Boston Beer Company.
Okay.
And it's, you know, so Boston Beer is Sam Adams.
Oh, yeah.
It's Truly is our seltzer.
Oh, okay.
Truly smoking in California.
Oh, yeah.
Which is awesome. Angry Orchard is our cider.
Okay.
Twisted Tea, of course, and then we have a craft beer called Dogfish Head.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it kind of covers everything. Yeah, it's got everything.
But it all started with Jim Cook. I mean, he brewed Sam Adams in his kitchen sink, and he went to bars in Boston, and he gave them a bottle. He said, "Try it," and they fell in love with it. And he said, "All right, I'll be back in 6 weeks." And they, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, I have to brew it." And that's how, I swear to God, that's how Boston Beer started. And in 1984, he won the best beer in America at the Great American Beer Cup, and the rest is history. Jim's got a book out, and Jim is like the most humble, gracious guy. Like he wears, he wears like regular guy clothes. I've never seen him in a suit. He drives kind of a junky car, and he's just the most wonderful, humble, gracious human being. He's got
awesome.
a book. Yeah, he's got a book. It's actually, forget what it's called, but I should know that.
Well, it makes for you going to work every day. Cool. You know what you're doing. You like the people. You like the philosophy of the company every day.
Oh, so, the culture of our company, it's amazing. And we've gotten a lot bigger. I mean, a lot bigger since when I started. But the culture of our company is amazing. It's like family, and we treat each other as such. It's great.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. What are the chances we get Twisted Tea for our studio here for our shows?
Come on, are you kidding me? I don't know that guy from Australia. I don't know what he was talking about. But,
I don't know either.
You could send alcohol. You just gotta, you gotta put something on the outside of the box that says, cookies.
Come on, Moose, figure it out, Moose.
I like it.
If you could send us some Twisted Tea for the studio, I promise you, it'll get drank.
Oh, forget it.
Okay.
I'll send you some tea. I'll send you some gear. We got to get you a nice LED for in there. We'll make it like the Twisted Tea bar.
Nice. I like that. I mean, guys that work for me, I mean, they'll be drunk half the time anyway, so it'll be fantastic. Yeah, Twisted Tea. They'll be right up their alley.
That's what I say. I mean, it's tea. You could drink it at work. What's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem? Exactly, right? So which race are you going to make some more motocross races, or do you know?
So I won't, because I'm going to be up to my neck in cigars and dirty bikers,
leather vests, and yeah.
But that's just a very quick, interesting segue, and that's kind of like the other reason why we believe motocross, supercross is a sweet spot for us, is because motorcycle rallies around the country, which I love more than anything on this earth, they're not growing. Because, the demographic is getting older.
Sure.
And Harley Davidson, I ride Harley Davidsons, I own Harley Davidsons, but Harley Davidson as a company, they have a problem on their hands. And I'm sure that there's guys who would make a lot of money that are trying to solve it, but the point of entry for a Harley Davidson motorcycle for a 20-something kid, who's got $25,000 to stroke on? And the other thing, too, is, does a 22-year-old kid want to ride a street glide that is dad rides?
No.
In the beer business, we got a saying, you don't want to drink your dad's beer. And in the motorcycle industry, a 22-year-old doesn't want to ride an ultra classic full dresser, and he sees his dad and his fat bearded buddies riding. That's the last thing he wants to do.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
So motorcycle rallies, unfortunately, aren't growing, and that's why we think motocross is just a sweet spot for us. But to answer your question, we'll be the presenting sponsor at Unadilla in a couple of weeks, and then that's pretty much. And I won't be there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But and those are the 4 races that we'll have presence. We'll still have the team, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But we won't have any visibility trackside. But that's going to change next year, because I'm going to make a super big push to make sure that we're visible. Because one of the things that I'm proud of is I don't want to be like a poser that just shows up and then leaves. I didn't do that in the V-twin world. I've been doing it over and over again, and the people that go there appreciate that. And I could see that in motocross. I don't want to be a one and done. I want to build this thing, and we want to grow roots, and we want to be part of the motocross family.
That's awesome. Well said. By the way, Billy Grotto, that's a cool name. I wish I was named Billy Grotto, dude. That's an awesome name.
Thanks, man. Well, I thought I was going to get an intro. I was going to get like a song intro, and I was thinking, what would my song be? And then I was thinking, I'm a Loser, Baby by Beck. And then I was like, well, that's just how I feel about myself. Let me see how I want to portray myself.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right. And I was like, TNT, AC/DC, or Cat Scratch Fever.
Right. Either one of those would be awesome. Well, we'll do it next time for sure.
Yeah, next time for sure, man.
Well, hey, everybody listening, check out Twisted Tea, and please check them out. Support them. They're big. They're supporting our sport with the HEP guys and the activation and everything else. It's awesome to have you guys around. It's cool. And Charles, anything for Billy?
No, I was just listening and thinking it's really interesting how they have all the different brands underneath the same brewery. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, and then interesting that how they have a clear, defined sort of market for each of those, and how the Twisted Tea makes sense for our demographic, right? And they keep them sort of separate. That makes sense.
I feel like my wife is. We live in Vegas, Billy, and I feel like my wife is probably responsible for 3 to 4% of Truly's purchased here in Nevada.
Heads up.
She's a big Truly chick, but no, it's awesome, man. I'm glad it's going well. I'm glad it's working out, and thanks again, Billy. Thanks for coming on, and thank you for your support of the sport.
Yeah, I love it. I'm thrilled to be part of it, and I'll come on anytime. Late notice, late night, it doesn't matter. Overtime is authorized over here.
That's fine. Actually,
I'm always working.
We have a question from Facebook. What's the question, Travis, from Facebook for Billy?
Travis wanted to know. He said, "Can you find out what's up with the raspberry twisted teas?" I don't know what that refers to.
What does that mean? What's up with the raspberry twisted teas?
They out of stock?
Yeah. What are we doing, Billy?
All right. So because the brand. It's been, Twisted Tea's been around for 21 years, and I call it like a 21-year overnight success because, in the last couple of years, it's really, really taken off. But, I remember when I was sampling people at Daytona Bike Week in, 2009, I couldn't give the samples away. And then I knew it was like something was happening when people were starting to steal the banners. And I was like, all right. I'm like, all right, man, that's cool. Because at first I was pissed.
Right.
I was like, these guys stole my banners. But then I was like, well, wait a minute. Right. They're going to hang it in their garage. And it means because they like the brand. So because of that, the demand for Twisted Tea is really high, and we have limited capacity. We contract brew at some external facilities. We try to keep most of it in house. We brew it in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, and in Cincinnati, and of course we have a brewery in Boston because that's where it all started. But that's a small brewery. So if somebody can't find raspberry or Twisted Tea Light, which is a huge sore subject in markets where we have it, it's because not because we don't make it anymore. It's just because either A, we are at capacity and it's not being run at that point in time. I'm sorry, I'm getting in the weeds, a little inside baseball for you. Or frankly, maybe the store stopped carrying it. So I always ask when somebody says to me, hey, how come I can't find raspberry, or how come I can't find this? And I say to them, ask the store manager of the Ralph's or the Kroger or the Safeway, the Walmart, or the Publix in Florida. Ask the store manager to bring it in. You're the customer, he'll bring it in. So that's what I would say about the raspberry tea. But also too, if you go to twistedtea.com, we have something that's really cool on there. It's called the Tea Finder.
Oh.
And if you punch your zip code in, it'll tell you where you can buy Twisted Tea in right around your neighborhood. It's really cool.
That's awesome. Tea Finder. Sweet.
Thanks.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Billy, for coming on. And really nice to meet you. Thanks again for supporting the sport. Good luck with the HEP team. And, we'll get you back on down the road, man, for sure.
I'd love it. Thanks a million, you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you soon, man. Thank you.
All right. See you, Steve. See you, Chuck.
Later.
I like Billy.
Yeah, Billy brings the
Grotto.
I feel like him and Seven Deuce Deuce would get along.
Oh. He lives up to his name. With a name like that, you got to bring it. I think he did.
Twisted Tea.
Yeah.
He reeks of Twisted Tea.
Yeah.
And he's everything I'd want.
Brand.
He's everything I'd want in a Twisted Tea rep.
Yeah. But then I think he switches hats and he's the Boston Lager rep right away too.
Yeah,
I think he calibrates.
But it's cool to see them in the sport. It's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And the reason I wanted to get him on was because I was watching the race up there by the berm, and their activation was on the other side of the track. And I just happened to turn around one time, and I'm like, holy shit! They got a whole umbrellas and a trailer. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It was a big.
They're doing it.
It was a big deal, and I'm like, this is awesome. Good to see.
Really cool. I had no idea they were doing more. Of course, I saw the Twisted Tea Southwick National, but I just assumed they just wanted a logo on TV and didn't do much more.
Yeah. But no, I think they're really doing
that's really
well.
cool.